Peace and blessings, family. I am ChiVital, aka King Chi, and I am back with another tool for your toolkits and how to create your lives. Welcome, welcome. Here's the midday special in the afternoon here on the East Coast. Many blessings to you all. I look forward to continuing to build. Lots of energy, lots of good news coming along. I'm looking forward to hearing the developments that are happening in your lives and how good it feels to be a part of this world. As you tune in, drop some hearts in the chat because y'all already know I love the love. I want to touch on some very important points of this week. Moving into this energy of Capricorn. Hey, shouts out to all my caps. We are the goats. We are the goats. And I want to give you some tools in regards to this working into the celestial realm, um, working through your own internal universe, and being able to manage and control the universe altogether. Yes, that is such a thing. Um, just really prepare you so that you can get everything, all the good things coming out that are available to you this season. All right. I received quite a bit of messages in regards to the Kalima work. And I have also greeted some of you in the astral realm, which has been really great. Um, and I think I may have some answers for some of you. All right, so I'm going to start with that. Okay, we'll give everyone a little time to tune in. Peace, JW. Peace, Technique Twin. Peace, Alicia Wells. Peace, I am Marika. Okay, okay. So I'll begin. If you have your notebook, that'll be great. You don't want to miss anything. You're always welcome to replay and join the commentary in the comment section below. So, the first thing that I wanted to prepare you for early in the video is that for the next 3 days, especially, because they're very potent days of being able to receive divine messages, I am advising that you all stick to a very, very clean diet and do not eat any meat at all. No cheese, no cow's milk, no eggs. I advise you to eat as close to fresh as possible and as light as possible. Of course, this is because during this time, you want to be as clear as possible internally in your physical body, but still receive nutrients. So I'm suggesting that you do eat, but that you do not overeat, nor do you eat things that are going to be sticking to you. For those of you who are more advanced, a water fast with some agave nectar for the next 3 days is absolutely feasible. The energy is so potent that if you have not been practiced in fasting doing the water fast, it can cause more damage, I would say. That's the word that comes to mind. It's a bit crude in a sense, but what happens is when the body is in this, I'm glad Jonah, you just asked this question about water fasting, because I am going to discuss this during this video. What happens when your body is not fully prepared for some of the reconstruction that is going to occur. Integration can become so difficult that rather than receiving the gifts of an upgrade, people can experience um, sudden shutdowns of their systems, get extremely sick, or have a mental break. And without the proper community to support them, they may receive the wrong attention, the wrong diagnoses, the wrong treatments, and be moved in the wrong direction when ultimately they were to receive an upgrade energetically. And it's important that I say that it's not fear mongering. We don't do the fear thing. But I want to be fair, F.A.Y, fair, that there are people who are very, very excited to jump into this work. And they're so excited that they leap head first. And sometimes they bust their head wide open. And when the energy is really this high, you can gain access to it in a way that's beneficial rather than trying to stand in the light of, some ultralight beams and then get burned. Then you lose both ways, right? So, does that make sense for you all? I know a lot of my regulars, y'all are, y'all have been doing this, but um, as we continue to expand in this very expansive energy, there are new people that are coming across this information. And I want to welcome you all. I want to welcome all of the new viewers. I want to welcome all of my new subscribers. I really appreciate you clicking that like button and subscribing and sharing the videos. Shouts out to all of you all who have continued to share this information and build on the algorithm so that more people have access to it. With those sensitivities, I want to make sure that everyone has a way to enter into this space and be able to benefit from it. Likewise, if you are with child, there are certain things that you don't want to be fasting at that level. Now, if you are consistent and you've been doing this and you're pretty like go hard, die hard, you've been doing this, it would be the same thing as someone who decides to pick up working out while pregnant when they weren't working out the whole time. Like, it's not going to be the greatest combination, just in general. Okay. So, just for clarity, working on clarity, right? If you know that you're more vulnerable to energies and you have not been on your A game dietary wise, have a very simple daily diet. So, one of my most simple daily diets is like some toasted Ezekiel bread, black coffee, water. If I have tea, I don't need any sugars in it. If I want some type of sweet, I'll just put a stick of cinnamon in there and it provides me with some sweetness. When I'm doing fasting on water alone, a tablespoon, sorry, not a tablespoon, a teaspoon, agave nectar, water, same thing. And other sources of food and water are like the chlorophyll or the blue-green algae. If I'm adding to that, it'll be like some oranges, tangerines, watermelon, grapes, not so much bananas because they are heavier and really thick with sugar. Steamed greens, steamed cabbage, but not steamed till they're like falling apart, just enough to, you know, cook off the microbes that are on there. So yeah, steamed cabbage, red cabbage, squash. So these are really easy foods to digest and move through your body. You feel me? Adding some ginger to that just to, keep you warm. So why Um, why this time period? Right? I know you have lots of information in regards to the winter solstice, and that's always a fantastic time of the year, not just because it's Capricorn season. But what we have is Mercury. Mercury this time is going to be moving through the sun. Mercury in Capricorn. If you wanted some clarity, there you have it, right? Well, the level of clarity is also beyond your emotional self. The communication is straightforward. And what I love in a season of straightforwardness is that any fabrications, any elusive information, anything that's going to create a delusion, it has no room to play here. It's very evident. So while you're doing this work, there's times where the information can be like, ooh, like it's so symbolic and it's so, it's so metaphorical that you have to actually spend time to try to digest and like, what's this? What's the true meaning of this? And blah, 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 right? But what you're going to have access to, which you probably have already started feeling, you're going to have access to straightforward downloads of information, answers to your questions, specific to what you're asking. No, is this true? Do I have to decode it? Straight up. All right. Straight forward. Things that are, you know, is this the kind of job that I'm supposed to have? Like, it doesn't have to be that mundane, right? But you will be in meditation and you will get the vision of exactly what you should be doing. Um, if you're questioning anything in your life, you should just be clear in writing it down and go into meditation with the um, expectation this time that you're going to receive that information. Um, the other piece is that when you feel yourself experiencing some physical sensations of these divine messages coming through, which tend to feel like you're underwater. I'm going to start speaking about the sensations now. If we could time mark this, sensations within the body and the environment when divine messages are coming through. All right. One of those sensations can feel like you are literally standing at the bottom of the ocean and you can feel the movement. And it's very subtle. It's as if like you are able to see eye to eye with the plant life at the bottom of the ocean, and the energy around you and through you feels this way. How many of you have experienced that? Right? You feel a sensation of rocking movement. Right? Another sensation you may experience when you're having breakthroughs is a buzzing and shaking that happens internally. If it turns up a notch, it may lead to you vocalizing. Okay, so sudden shaking, okay, in the body and the limbs, your hands are shaking, and sometimes it rises up like a blast of, like how a dragon would breathe fire on you, but instead it'll rise up and you'll have a vocalization. Okay. So let's talk about some of these things. All right. The picture that I chose for this video is a picture of a burning bridge. The the message of a burning bridge continued to come to me, and I wanted to be able to translate its meaning to you all in a direct way. So, burning bridges. We, burning bridges is a topic that people get into, especially when setting boundaries. Um, and that's all well, as we move forward into a space that is to bring more joy and more satisfaction. Burning bridges is a necessary aspect if, for whatever reason, that bridge continues to invite unwelcomed energy. But I don't want to bore you with things that you already know. What I wanted to shed light on for those of you who are receiving similar messages is that this bridge that is showing up, or your vertebrae, right, your spine. As you're working these energies, you are chanting these sounds, you are tapping into this meditation that is helping to upgrade your ability to move light through your body, to receive light codes, to receive upgrades, to awaken your celestial and galactic connections. The physical vertebrae is not necessary in these other realms. And through doing this work, it starts to burn. It starts to burn away. The physical aspect of it is burning away. When you look at the intense practices, the advanced practices of yoga, where the spine's flexibility directly correlates to one's ability to move light and travel in other dimensions and receive messages, you'll understand that the illusion of being solid material, especially the bridge of your spine that is just there for energy to climb, right? For energy to go from one place to the next, is not necessary for your travel. So imagine yourself wanting to get from point A to point B, and from one level of consciousness, you have to cross the terrain of a physical bridge. As your consciousness begins to rise, the bridge can be burned because you no longer need to walk. You can fly. You can levitate. You can move from various points of your consciousness without having to move in a linear fashion. You may not need to go to B in order to get to C. You can go from A to F. You follow? Okay. Is the sound okay for everyone? And let me know if you need me to speak louder. So while we have this this burning of the bridge, we also have the assistance of Mars actively cutting away with a hot sword anything that is keeping you tied to this earthly plane. in such a way that your consciousness is being put in a chokehold. But it's not truly a chokehold. I want you to imagine the devil in a tarot card and the two individuals who seem to be chained to the devil and they can't go anywhere, but the chains are pretty damn loose. They might as well just be holding the chain by themselves like a jump rope. Okay? So we have Mars helping us out. We have Mercury helping us out. What we don't want to do is get in the way of the flaming sword. You hear me? You don't want to get in the way of the flaming sword. Do not get in your own way. Because as powerful as you may be, and you can protect yourself from all others, you cannot escape your own sword. You cannot escape your own fire. You cannot escape your own magic, which is why some of the most potent magic is reversing someone else's work onto themselves. Because people cannot escape what they throw out. They don't. And so you want to be sure that you know how to navigate in that way. All right. Some other things. So in your dreams, if you are experiencing at this time um, spiders, um, really huge animals, um, bridges, keys, these are all divine messages. The bridges, which I've shared with you, are one thing. They also are the steps towards the heavens. We have been in the underworld for quite a bit, and now there is going to be a matter of climbing higher, and you'll take those bridges. But when you receive keys, you'll find that there are back doors which speak to the higher consciousness, which can be very intense, but it is way faster than going from A to B to C to D to E to F, continuing. But the lighter you make your body through keeping your vibration high, being in gratitude, being in truth, being honest, um, being without denial. Denial is a heavy vibration. All right. Um, and keeping your space clean, your space physically clean, your waters clear, making sure your altars are, vibrating high. Um, what else? Again, eating clean. You will be able to experience some out of this world things, um, and be impeccable with your word. So if you want something, I'm going to keep on driving this home because I want to see everyone experience how powerful their word is moving through into next year. So be impeccable with your word. Say what you truly mean what you say. Um, at this time, if there is an apology that you need to give, give it. Lighten your load. If there's something you need to forgive yourself for, work through that, but do not deny your participation in those things. Um, at this point, I'm moving through the solstice and Mercury's traveling through the heart of the sun the day after. Um, you don't have to work too hard to get what it is that you need as far as guidance and information. And I would also advise that you hold close to you what it is that you receive as far as guidance, information, downloads. Hold it close to you. Hold it close to you. And even, um, there's one more thing, but even the people that you usually want to share with, still hold it a little closer to you. Um, unless you are guided to share with specific people. Not because people are bad, not because everyone's a hater, but we're having lots of luck and we're having lots of gains in our lives. And as much as there's this high, powerful goodness coming through, there is a presence here at this time that is an opposing force. And so, in order to carry those things forward in a safe way, in a way where it can truly blossom, you will want to new relationships, whatever it is that's coming forward. All right. Um, Here's the thing. Some of you may even be experiencing morning sickness, and this is for men and women, because during this time, everything about you is harnessing the power to bring forward new life. All right. So last thing before I go, because the last piece of this title is the steps to heavenly bliss. While you are meditating and you are feeling all of these energies moving through, if you feel uncomfortable, if you feel pain, if you start to have um, really terrible nightmares, and this is during your mantra discipline, just cut back your count a little bit. So if you're doing 108, cut back to 54. Stay consistent, keep the energy moving. But what I want you to remember is that you have the power to dial. You have the power over the dial to turn it up, to turn it down, and you're a scientist of yourself. Remember that the work that we're doing is so advanced that you can overdo something. And so I want to give you that tool that if at any time you start to experience very painful sensations in your body, um, total sleeplessness, um, nervousness, uh, paranoia, cut back the numbers, because you need to allow your body and your mind and your spirit, your emotional body as well, to integrate the upgrades. That's that's all that's happening. It needs to come in line. If you get a fever and you start feeling sick, these are side effects, but it's not a sickness. It is just your body's coming in line. So don't believe the hype. Feed your body what it needs and just dial it back a little bit and then dial it forward and stay hydrated. All right. How's that? Y'all have any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All right. All right. So this is the information I want to share with you all. I hope that it was helpful. Um, I look forward to linking up with y'all soon. It looks like some of you are ready to make more offerings at another level for Kalima. So let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Peace, love, and bliss. I'll catch up with y'all soon.